just want to give a couple more seconds to let everybody in the room. So I thank you guys for taking the time out of your Wednesday night to come join us. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. So welcome to our virtual session tonight, Becoming a Giant, a series of virtual information sessions. And our tonight's topic is about athletics. So in a few short minutes, I will turn it over to the athletics crew. But first, I just wanted to talk a couple minutes about Keystone in case this is your first time looking into Keystone. So I want to give you some information about us first. So some quick facts about Keystone. We were founded in 1868, making this our 152nd year. Our campus has 276 acres of woodland area in our back campus, and we're located in northeastern Pennsylvania. So if you're not familiar with Pennsylvania, it is like 20 minutes from Scranton. So we're a short drive from a city, but we are kind of a community that is a little off the beaten path, but still accessible to other things in our surrounding areas. Our student body size is pretty small. We are a school that has about 1,300 students on our campus, and we have 11-to-1 faculty student ratio. So we're more like a small family here at Keystone. People get to know you. You are a person and a name to everybody here on campus. And being rural this past semester has helped us immensely with social distancing for in-person learning that we were able to do this last fall. So that is something at Keystone that we are very proud of. Our average class size is about 13 students, just to kind of give you a better idea of like what our class sizes are. We are Division III athletics, which is our topic tonight, so they will talk more about that. 96% of our students do receive financial aid, and we are the lowest tuition of all private colleges in the region. So that is just a little bit information. So some quick facts about Keystone. And so this is just why Keystone could be a good fit for you. There's just some key points here about Keystone that I want you to get to know about us. Like I said, we are a close-knit, caring community at Keystone. Having the personalized attention in the classrooms and having that support from your faculty, people get to know you and you see that people are invested in your success here at Keystone. I talked about our rural campus because we do have a beautiful outdoor space in our campus with hiking trails and nature trails. And that's great for all of our science programs because they're able to get that experience right in their backyard. We also do have opportunities outside of the classroom through undergraduate research, study abroad opportunities, and internships. That way you're able to get experiences outside of the classroom to go with everything that you are learning in the classroom. And you have a clear path to your career on campus because we do have a career center on campus that helps you prepare you for when you graduate, when you're off in the job field, getting a job after graduation, and even if you're going on to a graduate program. And we also do have a robust campus life between our performance music, all of our clubs that we have on campus. We have 30 plus clubs on campus. Civic engagement, student activities, you're able to find other people that have similar interests as you, and you're able to make a bunch of friends outside of your major or outside of a sport if you were going to be playing that. So that is something for all of our students. You will find a place here at Keystone. So now I'm actually going to turn it over to the the athletics crew. They're going to talk a little bit about their program and then they will open it up to some questions and answers. So I will go ahead and turn it over. Ryan, do you want to start?
Absolutely, yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Ryan Novitsky. I'm the Sports Information Director at Keystone. I'm joined today with our Athletic Director, Dr. Matthew Grimaldi, and our Head Women's Lacrosse and Field Hockey Coach, Ashley Irwin. So they're here to answer any questions or concerns you have about the college. Before we get going with our Q&A, I'm gonna show a quick video here, just highlighting some championship moments of the recent years, and towards the end of the video, some aerial shots of our facilities too. So I'm just gonna share my screen with you all, and we'll get going. Hopefully you can see that. All right, so that's just kind of a recap of our last couple of CSAC championships and our aerial shots of our facilities. So hopefully you enjoyed that little video there. I guess I'll get the dialogue going. So a quick question for Dr. Grimaldi here. How would you describe the benefits of playing Division III athletics and being involved?
Great question, Ryan, and nice job there with the video. That really gives a good sense of Keystone, and nice job with our facilities and just the enjoyment with all the athletes there and success we've had. You see that CSAC. I wanted to just see that. You keep seeing CSAC in a lot of those videos. So CSAC, that's the conference that we compete in. That's the Colonial States Athletic Conference. It's an 11-member conference that stretches in 3 states: Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New Jersey. So I just wanted to add that because we kept seeing that CSAC. So you're like, what is that? We are, that is our main conference that we're in. We compete in that for majority of our sports. We are an independent in wrestling, and our football conference competes and will compete next year in the Eastern Collegiate Football Conference, God willing, with COVID. But to your question, I think great benefit of Division III athletics is I truly believe it's that well-rounded collegiate experience where you blend academics, athletics, and other on and off campus activities that really gives the student that overall great experience they search for collegiately. It's great competition. Coach Ashley, we'll talk about that. We'll throw a question or two her way. It's great competition, and the students really play for the love of the game with no obligation of a scholarship. I think that students learn invaluable life lessons, if you will, that, those things that you learn on sports fields, whether it's teamwork, camaraderie, discipline, dealing with adversity. These are things that, especially I think at the Division III level, are going to benefit you 4 or 5 years from now when you're going into the career and job market, because employees, they really like to hire student athletes because of those attributes and so many other things of time management, taking risk, and just dedication, quite candidly. These are just some of the things I think that Division III offers. I think athletics as a whole, if you have an opportunity to play athletics in college, I think it's great, because 4 or 5 years for undergraduate degree goes by pretty quick, and distant memories, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. But I've been in this almost 25, 30 years, and I can't really recall all of my classes and professors, but I could tell you this: I still, when I get back in alumni functions at my college that I graduated from, I still can replay that play on the field. Those things, those memories will last a lifetime. I think that's the value of Division III athletics. I really do. In Keystone here, we do a great job. Really, every person from the president on down to everybody on this call, but most importantly, the coaches and student athletes. So with that, I'll throw a question to you, Rye. You gave me one. I'll throw a question to you. I hope that, and again, anybody, feel free, if there's any questions, you don't feel like you're interrupting us at all. That's what this is for. Just, fire away, just sit there and say, hey, Dr. Grimaldi, Ryan, Ashley, just please fire away, if you will. I'll throw a question to you, Ryan. Describe, what you would say is the general atmosphere of our athletic department?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, a family atmosphere. We all pretty much get along as best as we can. It's 12 head coaches. We're always trying to help each other out, whether it's game day management, tours, facility issues, anything like that. So overall, I'd say this is probably the most tight-knit environment I've worked at. It definitely goes and speaks in hand. Also, the college atmosphere too. Haley showed that admissions little slideshow there in the beginning, and she touched upon family atmosphere, small class sizes, the student to professor ratio. So you're coming to a place where people know your face and know your name and get to know and build relationships too. You're not just going to be another number in a classroom or a number on a roster. So it's really nice to know and get to know the players on an individual basis. A lot of them come to me and try to do internships or try to know and do get job networking opportunities too. So in terms of that, I think it's a really good spot to advance your career and try to build and build relationships with the coaches and the trainers and all the support staff here on campus. So like I said, it's definitely a family atmosphere and a really close-knit atmosphere with all the teams involved.
Yeah, no, yeah, great. Thanks, Rye.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw, go ahead. I'll throw Coach Ashley. I'll throw a question your way, Ash. Hey, Ash, if you don't mind, Ashley is our coach again for women's lacrosse and field hockey. But I think she can answer this generally for anybody that's a student or, prospective student athlete. Ash, if you could just, say what maybe the average week for a college student athlete might be, just an average week for them.
Yeah, so that's a great question. Question I get asked quite often, even, going through the recruiting process with some of our prospective student athletes as well. We always kind of talk about, even just with recruits, but even with you guys that are on the call with us here today, the neat thing about Division III athletics is that it gives you that equal balance where you're getting a great education and you're working towards a fantastic degree option, but at the same time, you're getting an awesome experience within the athletics, and particularly playing at the Division III level within the NCAA. So every coach is different, obviously, but for the most part, it's not crazy, 2-a-days or, a 6 a.m. cardio and then, looking to go for a lift. And then after a lift, you got to meet with a nutrition person. It's not down nitty gritty in that sense, more of an equal balance where it's definitely a step up from high school. It's very competitive. There's, when teams are in season, you're having about an average of a 2-hour practice, alongside with some lifting. A lot of our teams do study halls, which is great as well. Again, it we really focus on that student athlete and student being the first part. But also, again, athlete is just as important. That's why we're all here on the call today. And it gives a true equal balance. As far as, the level of competition that we play at, I think it's fantastic. We have a very competitive conference. More so kind of looking in the light of where our new addition of our football team is going. They're going into a highly competitive conference as well. A lot of our teams here have had tremendous success over the past few years, really representing our Keystone well within playoffs and also at the championship level. So it's definitely one where we play with an end degree. We're always pushing each other. Teams that are in season, if you're having a good year, bad year, indifferent, just always kind of congratulating each other and having each other's backs and sharing their success as well. Because, being a Giant here at Keystone is probably the best experience that you can get. You get one-on-one with your athletic director, your SID, who we have on the call today. We've got great athletic trainers. You have relationships with other head coaches as well. And it's just something that's truly special. Being a former athlete myself, I can definitely attest to the environment that we have. Athletics is very well supported at Keystone, and it makes my job so much fun.
Great job, Ash. And I would echo that, I've been to a lot of different levels and different colleges and stuff, and Keystone's special that way. It's really an environment that's close knit. The student athletes, really support each other. The teams support each other, going to events, helping out, sometimes helping out game management, everything. And as you said, we all really get to know each other. So I think that's truly important. And Ash does a great job. Ryan, is there any questions out there from the group at all? Because
I have a question here from Hannah. She said, would you be able to expand on the track and field program here at Keystone?
Yeah, Hannah, I'll ask what individual, are you a runner? Are you field events? What are you doing? And while she's answering that or not answering that, I would sit there and say that, hey, we hired a great coach roughly about beginning of COVID, right? Was it about
February, March?
6-7 months ago? Ian Hankins, great background, done a great job with the program here. And, our track and field program, we're very competitive. We have an indoor and an outdoor season. We've actually hosted, what has it been, 2 years in a row now, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
This would have been our third year that we've hosted our individual conference championships. Very successful. The one thing that I think with our track and field program is we have I think the student athletes have a great opportunity to really see a lot of, different levels where we can line up and be on a track, compete on a, individual field basis with, you're sitting there lining up with Bucknell and Army. We went down to West Point. Just an unbelievable experience. We've gone up to Colgate. So to just not compete against our Division III colleagues, but you get to expound that and you get to compete at the highest level. Coach Ian has done a great job. Looking forward, once we're out of COVID here, of seeing the true competition with all of our student athletes. But really, we have a wonderful facility that's why we've hosted the last couple of our conference championships. And not just for track, we really have done a great job with our field events as well, from a facility standpoint. So we take a lot of pride in that, and we have our lights, if you couldn't tell from there too. So that's something that we look to expound on as well.
Hey, Hannah, we see you there. What kind of questions do you have maybe about the program or things that you're interested in?
I don't really have too many questions because I visited the school twice before.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Awesome.
And I got accepted a couple weeks ago, actually.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Good.
you.
All right.
So
Where
I'm
are
just
you
kind of
from?
here,
Where-
New York, Orange County.
Okay. Whereabouts?
Do you, like, not far from West Point, like probably like 40 minutes.
Then hey, you join the track program. We'll head home for you. All
That's
right?
where some of my indoor meets are, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, that's special for our student athletes, and that if you can go back there and compete, that'd be a great experience for you.
Yeah,
Correct?
it's really nice.
Yeah. Now I'm familiar. That's why I'm familiar. I grew up in New York City and Long Island, so I know that area well. So, but have you met Coach Ian already?
Yeah, I met him at the open house, actually.
All right, great. Yeah. Well, do you have any other specific questions for myself, Ryan, or anything along those lines?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Ryan, I'll throw another question. Is there any other questions out there, I should say?
No, not that I see in the chat here right now, but
I'll throw another question your way, my friend. Hey, being we're sitting here in virtual world, so I mean, being that we're in this new age of world of virtual digital advancement, if you will, you're talking to somebody in technology that's more of a dinosaur. I'm learning every day. But can you fill us in as our sports information director? And Ryan does a phenomenal job. I've been around a lot. Ryan's a true pros pro. But tell how Keystone stacks up against the competition from a standpoint of technology.
sure, yeah. I mean, right now, everything's going digital. So, away goes the paper programs, all the things that you kind of were used to in the past. So COVID's kind of flipping everything on its head. When I got here, I tried to get the streaming services better than they used to be in terms of video, and so parents they don't have to worry about traveling to the game if they live a few hours away. They could watch their son and daughter participate via a streaming link, whether it's YouTube or our website provider Sidearm. So in terms of that, I've tried to take in that initiative, full frontal there my first couple of years. And then just social media. I mean, that's probably more prevalent than anything right now. That's where everyone goes to for their news and quick snippets of information. I've kind of noticed that the younger crowd here goes on Instagram and Twitter more so than Facebook. But then the older alums and parents and fans, they really go and flock to Facebook. So trying to share as much stuff out there that goes on. In this world of COVID, just trying to highlight, past accomplishments from last year and the past few seasons, just so those milestones don't get, unnoticed and forgotten. And then just trying to have some fun with the fans, doing, flashback Fridays or, some playlists, making sure people know what to listen to, what kind of popular music's out there. But yeah, it's more important than ever now just to engage with the upcoming freshman class and retweeting, sharing, posting whatever the coaches put out there on their social media pages is almost more important than ever. It's almost a recruiting within recruiting for us. So and I think coaches like Ashley here, she does a great job with her Instagram page with the cross and field hockey. I'm trying to put that on our stories, and our football coaches, baseball, track and field, like we mentioned, like they're all doing their part in terms of their own recruiting and their own styles and their own, way they get their message across. And it's always Keystone strong, as we always say, and just try to make that positive message. But from my standpoint, it's almost, like I said, it's more important than ever to get the name out there of Keystone and our new logo and our colors and making sure our brand is equal across the board, and just getting our name out there against the competition.
Great.
I
have another question here for you, Matt.
Fine. And then Ashley, I'll come to you next. Okay.
Okay.
Right, you and I mean, she's a coach. They want to hear recruitment from her, but I'll take your question.
This could be for you or Ashley. So it just came
No,
across.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm not going to defer yet.
So this is from Alessandra. It says, although it's a small school, what are the scholarship options like for Keystone? She's a sophomore in high school. She's out of state, but she'll know she'll have to pay for college on her own. Anything about scholarships? That'd be more academically.
Yeah.
So
Ash, you want to take that from the recruitment standpoint? I'll let you. That's right in your
I'll
wheelhouse.
tag you. Yeah, I'll tag you out on that one. So again, like we had mentioned previously, Keystone is again a Division III member of the NCAA. So unfortunately, we do not have athletic scholarships. However, we have great academic scholarships that are out there. We have a tier system within our admissions department. So we actually have we're both, for the most part, your academic scholarship is awarded off of your current high school GPA, and we do have additional tiers. We have a high tier, two middle tiers, and then obviously going down a little bit lower. Something that's really specific and cool about Keystone, from my standpoint, is we also have a visit scholarship that's offered, and that's not something that's quite out there amongst other schools. So we actually do have, whether obviously during the times of COVID, our admissions counselors do a fantastic job meeting with you virtually. We have some really cool virtual tours via our website, keystone.edu as well. So there's tons of options and ways to visit and get that visit scholarship. Another thing that is neat also about being a smaller school is we, again, basing off of the GPA, we're test optional. And that's something that's been really fantastic this year, especially for all of the seniors out there in this year of COVID. You guys have really kind of been whacked at the knee, so to speak. SATs being canceled, restructured, things of that sort. So we are test optional. I always say to our recruits, SAT scores, they only help you, they can't hurt you. So that's another, if you're teetering on a tier of one of our scholarships, it might bump you to the next level, which is fantastic. But it's not something to, stress out about if you didn't get your SAT scores in as well. Another thing that is pretty neat is not only do you have academic scholarships, but there's also grants. And I always say grants are good because grants are free money. So that's not money that you have to pay back. That's money that you get every year. And then another thing specifically I've run into a couple of times with recruits is we are the same tuition, whether you're in the state of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, wherever it is that you reside out of state, our tuition stays the same. So there's no increase or decrease or anything of that sort. So we stay flat across the board. And then also, like Haley had mentioned in the beginning, over 96% of our potential students do receive financial aid as well, which is fantastic. And that's based off of mom's and dad's income. And that even if you are paying for college on your own, that will still help you in some form. So I hope that could answer some of your questions.
Good job.
Thanks, Ash. Another question here came across from Jeremiah. Says, how do I get on the basketball coach's radar?
Well, hey, Jeremiah, first off, I was going to say something joking, but all that being the case is really from a recruitment standpoint. I almost defer to Ashley, but I'll take this. I mean, first off, have you outreached our coach, Brad Cooper? That's the first part is to outreach to a coach. And if you have any video at all, to send that to them. I mean, that's the key. I mean, coaches, well, and then if there's any tournaments and things that you're on, if you're playing AAU, anything along those lines, to let the coach know that these are some of the events and tournaments that, I'm going to be participating in, and let them know that you're genuine interest in Keystone. So I think those are initially the first couple things you want to do. So if you have an outreach to our coach, Brad Cooper, our men's basketball coach, that's the first step. And then from there, anything that you can do to expose yourself so that coach can see your talents, and then, start the recruitment process. Ash, anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, Jeremiah, also, obviously I know it's real basketball season's right around the corner. And if you don't have film from previous years and you're having a tough time because you might not even be having a season this year getting film, just be creative. I've seen some really awesome videos this year. kids doing stuff in their backyards. Again, I
Yeah.
know gyms are slowly shutting down as well, but if you could bear the cold or be creative in any sense, get in your backyard or go down to your local park or something of that sort, and just try
Yeah.
and get some type of film in that sense. I know later on Ryan's gonna show just how to go through to fill out our recruiting questionnaire, which that's probably your easiest bet, alongside of what Dr. Grimaldi said, following up with an email as well.
Yeah.
But if you fill out the recruiting questionnaire, that'll go to Coach Cooper's email instantly, and then just follow up. And as much as you want him to be interested in you, be interested in him as well, and just try and really have
Yeah.
that constant outreach.
Yeah, and you know what, Ash, that's a great thing because, obviously, seniors out there, whether you're playing or not, or film sometimes is difficult to get, that if you can just go out and give sometimes a minute or 2 minute little skill session, just shooting, ball handling. I don't know if you can get up there and dunk, Jeremiah, but if you can, I know Coach Coop likes that. He showed me some videos through the years along those lines. But that's a great point, though. If you can do, Jeremiah or any of the athletes on the call here, if you just go out and just get a 2 minute video, because then, the coaches will look at that and they can do an assessment from there, and that starts the ball rolling. So.
Yeah, so Ashley, you touched upon it there a little bit with the recruiting questionnaire.
Yeah.
Hopefully you could see my screen there at home.
Yep.
If you go on our athletics website, it's gokcgiants.com. And then on this top navigation bar, you see this prospective student athletes. And if you just click recruiting questionnaire, there's the link to all our sports that we offer here. And you'll fill out, so I'll go, since we were talking about basketball, I'll go to men's basketball. And you'll fill out all your information here. You see the red asterisk, that's mandatory, so please fill that in. And then when you fill this out, it'll go right to each respective coach's email address. And I think the admissions counselors also get an email too. So just be sure to, if you're interested in a sport, please be sure to fill this out.
Yeah. Any
As
other
a coach,
questions
I
out
can
there?
tell. As a coach, I can tell you recruits out there, or you guys that are interested in athletes, interested as athletes rather. I know I can say as a coach in particular, anytime we see that it'll come up a little blurb, new prospective athlete, we always get excited about that in our mailbox, because we know that that's another kid reaching out, being interested in playing. So again, that's key to really try and fill that out, because it also gives us a lot of your information that we need to start the recruiting process with you as well.
Yeah.
I don't see any other questions in here, Matt, right now, but there's another question I want to ask you. I know your daughter's a senior here in high school, and she's looking to play athletics in the next level, soccer. What's kind of that process been, and what kind of advice would you give to anybody here on the call looking to play?
All right. Well, I think the first advice is enjoy the process. Don't be stressed out, because that's one thing that I have seen, and just out with my daughter, who's a soccer player and lacrosse player as well, and she's going through this process. I think that's the first part of it. And I sit her down numerous times and I say, listen, why don't you know what you're looking for, what values you're looking for, goals, if you will. We always put those pro cons lists, put it out there. I know we always think it's simple, but you're going to narrow down your search right there. And then from there, yes, we're talking a blend of athletics and academics, but academics is our primary goal here. And, you really want to choose a major that you can succeed in, your academic strengths and, where you may want to go for a college, whether it's Keystone or other places. So make sure they have the academic true fit that you're going to be able to succeed. And then ultimately that major is going to translate into a career and job for you. So I think that's truly important. It's one thing that I just sit back and I'm trying to give her a lot of autonomy. But, you sit there as a father and being in higher education for 25 years and as athletics, you try to steer the ship. And, everybody's touched on this. I think Haley did a great job at the beginning here, talking about fit. I think fit is key. Location, geography, all of those things, what's important to you. If you like the beach, if you like the mountains, something big, small. So I think that that's something. Once you can get all that, then it just boils down to being realistic, affordability, all of those aspects. And what's truly also important, yes, we're talking about athletics, but also what other hobbies do you have? I think that's important. What does the school offer? We have a lot of great clubs here, intramurals, programs, things of that, other organizations that you can do off campus as well. I think that you got to take a whole big picture look at that. And I know that's a lot, but it's something that I always go back to enjoy it, because it is a rare thing to go be a student athlete. I don't think people realize that everybody on this call, if you're gonna, step on a field at Division 3, 2, or 1, you separate yourself so much from about 95% of the other high school student athletes that you participate with and against. So it's something that, you have a great opportunity here, and just enjoy it. I mean, really enjoy it. And, if you lay all those things up, I think it'll make it a lot easier to see where you're going to fit, because trust me, I'm living with my daughter right now, and we're all over the place. And then when you just slowly start to break it down along those lines, all of a sudden it starts to open up, and you can see where you're going to fit. And again, Keystone, I think on many aspects, for hopefully a lot of people on this call, it is a great fit, with the small class size rule, good family background, really a lot of great academic majors that translate into jobs. That's truly the bottom line. And as we stated, is very good, affordable education with quality professors. So I hope that answers the question, Rye. We're obviously in the process as we go right now. So I'm living it just like all the students and parents on this call.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah. I don't see any other questions here in the chat. Those who on the call, if you have any questions, please just put them in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just want to kind of give it just another minute for any last minute questions, but if there aren't any, I just kind of wanted to jump back on and kind of wrap it up.
Okay.
But thank you guys. I think you guys gave a lot of information tonight about our athletics programs. And I do see that Ryan shared some great links in the chat. So if you guys haven't seen those, feel free to look at those. That'll give you some more information on our websites about the sports, and also how to find the coaches directly if you guys wanted to contact the coaches. You guys didn't get any questions to you, did you?
No.
No, other than the ones we addressed. No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also going to put our admissions email in the chat box. If you had any admissions questions, you guys could reach out to us, and then your admissions counselor will reach out to you guys, answer any questions that you might have as well. But I'm just going to share my screen for one more time, and give you guys some information as the next steps, because I'm not sure where all of you are in the process. I just want to talk a little bit. Our application is free and online, so if you are interested in applying to Keystone, it takes about 20 minutes. We also do accept the Common App if you wanted to fill that out. And then, like we talked about the FAFSA, that would be a next step after you apply. Fill out your FAFSA. That's how you get your financial aid, the free money, the grants. So be sure to do that. That's a very important step. We also do have live tours, and we also do have some in-person visits. There are some restrictions to those, but we do have some limited visits on our campus. So if you wanted to do one of those, or even get to meet with your admissions counselor one-on-one, that admissions email, just email that. Let us know you're interested. We will get you signed up for a visit. And also to stay in touch and ask questions, because we do want to make sure you have all the answers that you need as you're picking a school and deciding what is important to you in a school. We're here. We want to answer everything that you have. And then there's our email again. So you guys can have that. But that is all that I have on slideshows. I'm not sure if any more questions came in, but like I said, our contact information is there. So if you guys think of anything after this call is done, please do reach out to us.